Hi guys, today we will be looking at parts of radicals and we will be listing the first 12 perfect squares. We'll be simplifying perfect and non-perfect square roots. And then we will be doing the same thing with the cubes. We will be listing the 10 perfect cubes and then simplifying perfect and non-perfect cube roots. Okay, so let's go right ahead. So there are 3 parts to the radical. This thing is called a radical sign. Radical sign. The number inside of the radical is called a radicand. Radicand. And the number here is called index. That's it. If there is no index right here, it's assumed that this is 2. Okay? So like square root of 16. We do know that it's 2 right here. Okay? Because it's square. Okay, let's list the perfect squares. Our perfect squares are 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100, 11 squared is 121, and 12 squared is 144. Now, we'll be looking for perfect square roots, and we will be skipping the number 2. So number 1, square root of 81. So I have to find a number when it's multiplied by itself or raised to the second power will give me 81. So what squared is 81? 9 squared is 81. So my answer is 9. Number 3, square root of 64. What squared is 64? 8 squared is 64. So the answer is 8. Number 4, 18 square root of 4. So 18 is left alone because it's in front of the radical. Now we have to take a square root of 4. What squared is 4? 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to multiply 18 by 2. 18 was existing. It was right here. Square root of 4 is 2. So we're multiplying these two numbers to get the answer. So 18 times 2 is 36. All right. Number 5. 3 square root of 256. You can use the calculator and find the square root of 256, and it is 16. Square root of 256 is 16. 3 times 16 is 48. So number 6 is negative 5 square root of 121. Negative 5 square root of 121 is 11. So the answer is negative 55. Negative 5 times 11 is negative 55. So let's do number 7 now. It's a square root of 1/16. Okay, you saw the fraction and some of you are freaking out. Please don't freak out. It's okay. All we have to do, we have to take the square root of the top and then the square root of the bottom. Square root of 1 is 1 because 1 squared is 1. Square root of 16 is 4 because 4 squared is 4. So the answer is 1/4. Number 8, square root of 9 over 100. We're going to do the same thing. We take a square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 100 is 10. 3/10 is our answer. Let's do number 9. It's 25 over 49. So we do the same thing. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 49 is 7. So the answer is 5/7. Okay? So far we were dealing with perfect squares, right? Now, we will be dealing with not so perfect squares. Like number 10. Square root of 24. Is it a perfect square? No. Can we break it down? That's what we're supposed to do. And I'm going to explain what means breaking down. Well, breaking down means that we have to find a product. Product means multiplication. We have to multiply two numbers by itself and get 24. But one of those numbers has to be a perfect square. Okay? So 24 is what times what, and what number times what number, and one of them is a perfect square. So 24 is 4 times 6, correct? Great. And 4 is my perfect square from the table that we just completed. So so far I didn't change anything. 24 is 4 times 6 under the radical. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put them under different radicals. So, and then I'm going to take the square root of 4, which is 2, and then square root of 6 is going to be left alone. This is my answer. I cannot take a square root of 6, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Number 11, square root of 48. Again, I'm going to try to break down 48 into perfect square times the other number, which is not a perfect square. So I can divide it by 4. 48 divided by 4. Can I do it? Yes, I can. 4 times what is going to give me 48? 4 times 12. 12 can be broken down again. So let me continue dividing 48 by bigger numbers. I continue dividing it by 8. Doesn't do anything for me because 48 divided by 8 is 6. 8 and 6 are not perfect squares. And then I get to the point when I find my solution. 48 is 16 times 3, and 16 is my perfect square. And I'm going to put it in under different radicals. Square root of 16 is 4, and then square root of 3 is left alone. And this is my final answer. Number 12, square root of 72. Square root of 72. I need a product of two numbers, and the product has to be 72, right? So 72 is 36 times 2. What you can try doing is that you can you can have your table right here, and then you can have your calculator and start dividing that number that you have under the radical by each one of those numbers. And then 72, can you divide it by 4? Yes, you can. Then we have to go higher. Can you divide it by 9? No, you can't, because it's not going to be whole number as a result of that. So then we will try to divide it by 16. And then we can go, it's not possible divided by 16. 25, not possible. 36, here you go. It's 36 times 2, right? 72 divided by 36 is 2. So you kind of have to play with your calculator, or you can divide it in your head. And then once you get the hang of it, you will get better and better at this. So please don't give up. Please complete the assignment. And then you will be thankful that you did it. When you will be taking Algebra 2 class. So we're going to put this 36 and 2 under different radicals. Square root of 36 is 6. And then square root of 2 is left under the radical. So number 16, square root of 63. 63 can be broken down by 9 times 7. Square root of 9, square root of 7, we put them under different radicals. And then square root of 9 is 3, and square root of 7. 14, square root of 90. 90 is actually 9 times 10. And 9 is my perfect square. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 square root of 10. Number 15, square root of 175. We do know that 25 is a factor of 175. 25 times 7 is going to give me 175. So square root of 25 is 5, square root of 7. This is my answer for number 15. Number 16, square root of 162. And then it can be broken by like 81 times 2. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 2. 17. Square root of 245. 245 can be broken down by 49 and 5. 49 times 5 is 245. And then 49 is my perfect square. So square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 5. And then number 18, square root of 343. (343) is actually 49 times 7. Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 7. Number 19. Square root of 117. So 117 can be broken down by 9 and 13. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 13. Number 20. Square root of 28. 28 can be broken down by 4 and 7. Square root of 4 is 2. And then square root of 7 is left alone. Number 21. Square root of 450. And then it can be broken down by 225 and 2. 225 is my perfect square. Square root of 225 is 15. If you don't know it, you can use the calculator to figure it out. Okay, now we will be dealing with the perfect cubes. We're going to list the first perfect cubes. All right, so it's right here in this section, perfect cubes. You got to list them. You guys have to write everything down, what I write down in my video, okay, to get the full credit. So there will be 2 grades for this lesson, the classwork grade and the homework grade. I'm not sure if they're going to be classwork and homework really grades, but there will be 2 grades. The first grade will be for listening to my video and writing down the notes that I write down on the video, and then solve all the problems the way I solve them on the video. I'm going to solve all of them, so there is no excuse I didn't understand, I didn't know. Okay? If you have any questions, you can email me, you can contact me. You know how to do it. And then the second part of the assignment for the second grade will be the homework 10. Okay? And then you will have to complete it on your own. And I expect you to do it. And you will have enough skills to do it if you watch my videos. So I don't see how you can mess this up, okay? So, perfect cubes. 1 to the third power is 1. 2 to the third power is 8. 3 to the third power is 27. 4 to the third power is 64. 5 to the third power is 125. 6 to the third power is 216. 7 to the third power is 343. 8 to the third power is 512. 9 to the third power is 729. 10 to the third power is 1000. So this is your perfect cubes. So let's do number 22. Cube root of 8. So my question is, what number do you have to raise to the third power to get 8? And you can get it right from the video, from the table. So 2 to the third power is 8. So the answer is 2. Okay, cube root of 729. And it's right from the table right here. It's a 9 to the third power is 729. So it's 9. Okay. So 24. Cube root of 1331. And then I know it's not right here. It's not on the table, but I have a feeling that this is 11. 11 times 11 times 11, use your calculator, or 11 to the third power is going to give you that 1331. So this is your answer. Which one is next? Next is 25. Cube root of -1. What number do I have to raise to the third power to get -1? -1 to the third power is negative square. Negative 1 to the third power is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So that's the answer, right? So this is actually my answer for the problem. Number 26, cube root of negative 343. So this number is right from the table. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 to the third power is 343. But negative 7 to the third power is negative 343. So my answer is negative 7. Okay, 27. Cube root of negative 27. It's from the table again. 3 to the third power, 3 cubed is 27. So negative 3 cubed is negative 27. Okay. So number 28 now. We're going to be doing the same thing what we were doing when we were simplifying non-perfect square roots. Here we're dealing with non-perfect cube roots. So it's the same concept. Cube root of 40. We have to break down the 40. Okay. So the one of those numbers is the perfect cube. Okay. So what are my perfect cubes? 1. We don't care about 1 because anything divided by 1 is that number. So we don't want the 40. So we're not dividing that by 1. So 40 can be divided by 8 and 8 is my perfect cube. So 40 is actually 5, 8 times 5. And we're going to put them in under different radicals. Cube root of 8 is going to give me 2. And then this is going to be just left alone. Okay. This is not the 7. This is a radical. Okay. Number 27. Cube root of negative 27. Again, we go to this table right here. No, it's not. It's not the right. I don't need this 27. I already did this. Number 30. Actually, number 29. I didn't do that yet. Sorry about that. So, cube root of 500. And 500 can be broken down by 125 and 4. Where did I get that 125 from? Right here. And 500 can be comfortably divided by 125. 500 divided by 125 is going to give me 4. So 125 times 4 is 500. We're going to take the cube root of 125 and cube root of 4. Cube root of 125 is 5. Cube root of 4. This is my answer for 29. So number 30, and it's just a couple of more to go. And we're good. Cube root of 162. So we can break it down by 27 and 6. And 27 is my perfect cube. So cube root of 27 is 3 because 3 to the third power is 27. And this part is just left alone because there is nothing we can do with it. Number 31. Is 16 a perfect square or perfect cube? No, it's not. It's perfect square, but not perfect cube. And we're going to break it down by negative 8 and positive 2. I know you might have asked me a question. What if we do 8 times negative 2? It's not going to work. I mean, it's going to work, but we don't want any number, like the radicand, the number under the root cannot be negative. So we're kicking the negative out. So therefore, a negative is going to be part of 8. Okay, so it's going to be negative 8. Cube root of negative 8 is going to give me negative 2. And this part is just going to be left alone. Number 32. Cube root of 432. Okay, and then we're breaking this down by 216 and 2. 2 times 216 is 432. 216 is my perfect cube. And it's right from the table right here. So the key is that you just divide this number by each one of them if you don't have a feel for them yet. And then you just stop at some point. And the point is when you cannot break this number any longer. And this is your perfect square still. So cube root of 216 is 6. And this part is just left alone. 33. Cube root of this number. This is going to be the last one, guys, that I'm doing because the video is getting really, really, really long. And I'm afraid it's going to take me 6 months to download it. So I'm going to solve this and then you're going to be responsible for the next 3. All right. So I'm going to break it down by negative 64 and 5. Again, I'm just using my table. Keep dividing that number by each one of them and then see if I can divide by the bigger number. If I can divide it by 8, I will try to see if it's going to be, if I'm able to divide it by 64. That's all I'm doing. And that's what I did. So cube root of negative 64 is negative 4. Cube root of 5. Okay, again, you're responsible for writing all the work down the way I do it in the video. That's how you get your classwork grade and solve the rest of the problems 34 through 36. And then it's due on Wednesday, tomorrow. And then the homework part is going to be due on Thursday. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.